Right now, at this exact moment, there is a message trying to reach you. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, if you found this video, it is not random. Something inside you has already been sensing that time is moving faster, that reality itself feels unstable, that the old rules of life are quietly dissolving. Across the United States and around the world, millions are waking up at strange hours, feeling waves of anxiety mixed with unexplained hope. Jobs feel meaningless. Relationships feel like karmic puzzles. Dreams feel more real than waking life. You may have told yourself it is just stress, just the news cycle, just the pressure of modern life, but deep inside, you know there is something else. This is not fear, this is activation. And the truth is shocking. Many starseeds are already behind schedule. You were meant to remember who you are sooner. You were meant to align your consciousness with the quantum field before the next energetic threshold arrives. This is not about doom. This is about urgency. The Arcturian Council calls this a window of acceleration, a rare phase when manifestation happens faster than logic can explain. But if you do not understand how to work with this energy, it can feel like your life is collapsing instead of evolving. So pause whatever you are doing. Listen carefully. Because what you are about to hear may change how you see your past, your purpose, and your future on this planet. A quick support request before we begin. Take 1 second to support this mission of awakening. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your voice in the comments. And here is your comment task. Tell us which part of the United States you are watching from. Your location matters energetically. Your presence matters collectively. Chapter 1: The Quantum Wake Up Call and the Illusion of Linear Time. There is a fundamental misunderstanding about reality that most people carry without ever questioning. From childhood, you were taught that time moves in a straight line, that cause always comes before effect, and that the physical world is solid and predictable. Yet quantum physics, the most advanced scientific exploration of existence, suggests something radically different. At the quantum level, particles behave like possibilities rather than objects. They respond to observation. They change behavior based on expectation. This means consciousness is not just a byproduct of the brain, it is an active participant in shaping experience. Spiritual traditions have hinted at this for thousands of years, but modern science is now beginning to validate what mystics once described as the dance between mind and matter. For starseeds, this understanding is not merely intellectual. It is deeply personal. Many of you have felt from a young age that you do not fully belong to the dominant systems of society. You may have excelled in creative thinking yet struggled in rigid educational environments. You may have been emotionally sensitive in a culture that rewards emotional suppression. You may have sensed that your purpose was connected to helping humanity evolve rather than simply achieving conventional success. These feelings are not signs of weakness. They are signals of alignment with a broader evolutionary process. The Arcturian perspective describes Earth as a learning planet, a place where consciousness experiments with limitation in order to rediscover its creative power. When you incarnated here, you agreed to temporarily forget your multidimensional nature so that the act of remembering would generate growth. However, the pace of global transformation has accelerated dramatically in recent decades. Technological advancement, environmental challenges, and social upheaval have collectively created a pressure cooker of change. From a quantum viewpoint, such pressure can collapse old probability patterns and open new timelines. This is why many people feel as if life is becoming unpredictable. It is not chaos without purpose. It is the reorganization of possibility. One of the most important lessons for starseeds during this period is understanding that manifestation is not simply about positive thinking. It is about coherence between thought, emotion, and action. The quantum field responds most strongly when intention is accompanied by emotional conviction and behavioral alignment. For example, a person may visualize abundance yet continue to make choices based on fear of scarcity. This creates interference patterns in the energetic signal being broadcast to reality. In contrast, when belief and behavior reinforce each other, probability pathways begin to reorganize. Opportunities appear, synchronicities increase. What once seemed impossible gradually becomes natural. Another aspect of the wake-up call involves releasing the illusion of isolation. Western culture often emphasizes individual achievement, yet quantum interconnectedness suggests that every intention contributes to a collective field. When millions focus on fear, the emotional atmosphere of society becomes heavy and restrictive. When individuals cultivate clarity and compassion, they generate subtle but measurable shifts in the collective psyche. Starseeds are often drawn to community building not because they seek validation, but because they intuitively understand that shared resonance amplifies manifestation. Meditation groups, creative collaborations, and service-oriented initiatives are not just social activities, they are energetic technologies. Education plays a critical role in this awakening. It is no longer sufficient to rely solely on inherited beliefs. Critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and scientific curiosity must work together. A spiritually aware individual who ignores evidence risks falling into illusion. A scientifically trained mind that dismisses inner experience risks missing profound insight. The integration of these approaches creates a balanced path forward. When you study neuroscience, you discover how attention shapes neural pathways. When you study psychology, you learn how subconscious patterns influence decision-making. When you explore quantum theory, you see how uncertainty and probability underpin the fabric of existence. Together, these disciplines provide a foundation for conscious manifestation that is both practical and transformative. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that urgency does not mean panic. It means focus. In a world saturated with distractions, the ability to direct attention intentionally becomes a superpower. Every moment you spend consuming information that reinforces helplessness strengthens a timeline of limitation. Every moment you invest in learning, creating, and aligning with purpose strengthens a timeline of empowerment. The wake-up call, therefore, is not about escaping reality. As you move forward, consider the possibility that your challenges have been training exercises. Financial uncertainty may have been teaching adaptability. Relationship conflicts may have been refining empathy. Career confusion may have been pushing you toward authentic contribution. When viewed through a quantum lens, these experiences are not random obstacles but feedback mechanisms guiding you toward higher coherence. The question is not whether change is happening. The question is whether you will participate consciously or resist until circumstances force transformation. This chapter invites you to recognize that the clock you feel ticking is not counting down to an ending. It is counting up to a breakthrough. Chapter 2: Manifestation as a multidimensional skill and the power of emotional frequency. If reality is shaped by probability, then manifestation becomes the art of influencing which probabilities become actual events. This is where spiritual knowledge intersects with disciplined practice. Many people approach manifestation as a wish fulfillment technique, repeating affirmations while secretly doubting their effectiveness. The Arcturian teaching reframes manifestation as a skill set, one that can be developed through awareness, repetition, and ethical intention. Just as athletes train their bodies and musicians train their ears, conscious creators train their focus and emotional stability. A key educational insight involves understanding emotional frequency. Emotions are not merely subjective feelings, they are biochemical and electromagnetic processes that affect perception and behavior. Research in psychophysiology shows that states such as gratitude and compassion are associated with more coherent heart-brain communication. From a quantum-inspired perspective, coherence increases the clarity of the signal being transmitted into the field of possibilities. This does not mean suppressing negative emotions. Instead, it means learning to process them without becoming defined by them. Fear can provide information. Anger can reveal boundaries. Sadness can signal the need for healing. The skill lies in allowing these experiences to move through you rather than anchoring your identity to them. Another dimension of manifestation involves narrative. Humans are storytelling beings. The stories you tell about your past and future shape the expectations you carry into the present. If you repeatedly define yourself as unlucky or powerless, your cognitive filters will unconsciously search for evidence that confirms this narrative. Conversely, when you begin to reinterpret your life as a series of growth opportunities, your perception shifts. You notice resources that were previously invisible. You take actions that align with a more empowered identity. Over time, this feedback loop can transform not only personal circumstances but also the influence. For Starseeds in the United States, there is a unique cultural context to consider. The American ethos often celebrates ambition and innovation, yet it can also generate intense pressure to achieve quickly. This environment can either accelerate awakening or intensify burnout depending on how you navigate it. Manifestation in this setting requires balancing visionary thinking with grounded implementation. It is not enough to dream of transforming the world. One must also cultivate financial literacy, communication skills, and resilience. Spiritual awareness becomes truly impactful when it informs practical choices. The Arcturian Council also highlights the importance of collective intention during periods of planetary transition. When groups align around shared goals such as environmental stewardship, social justice, or technological ethics, they create momentum that transcends individual effort. From a quantum standpoint, synchronized intention can stabilize emerging timelines. This is why community rituals, strategic planning sessions, and collaborative innovation hubs hold such potential. They act as convergence points where imagination meets execution. Education in manifestation, therefore, includes learning how to manage information flow. In the digital age, attention is constantly fragmented by notifications, headlines, and algorithmic content. Each interruption pulls consciousness into reactive mode. To counter this, starseeds are encouraged to design intentional routines. This might involve beginning the day with silent reflection, setting clear priorities before engaging with media, and ending the evening with gratitude practices that reinforce a sense of progress. Such habits may appear simple, yet their cumulative effect on neural wiring and emotional balance can be profound. Another valuable lesson concerns the ethics of manifestation. Power without wisdom can create unintended consequences. If you focus solely on personal gain, you may achieve short-term success while contributing to long-term imbalance. Ethical manifestation asks you to consider how your desires intersect with the well-being of others. When intentions are aligned with service, the probability field often responds with greater support. Opportunities emerge that benefit both the individual and the community. This principle reflects an ancient spiritual insight: sustainable abundance flows from contribution rather. As this chapter unfolds, you are invited to experiment with a simple yet transformative practice. Choose one area of your life where you feel stuck. Instead of immediately trying to change external conditions, begin by observing your internal dialogue. Notice the language you use when thinking about this challenge. Replace self-limiting statements with exploratory questions. Ask yourself what skills you could develop, what perspectives you could adopt, and what small actions you could take today. Each step generates new data for the quantum system you inhabit. Each choice signals readiness for a different outcome. Ultimately, manifestation is not about controlling the universe but about collaborating with it. The Arcturian message emphasizes that humanity is entering a phase where consciousness literacy will be as essential as technological literacy. Those who learn to navigate their inner landscape with clarity and compassion will be better equipped to influence external reality constructively. The urgency you feel is therefore an invitation to mastery. It is a reminder that the future is not predetermined. It is shaped by millions of decisions made in moments just like this one.